Hello everyone, my name is Tony and this is my crazy story. I was just a baby when my parents moved from China to America. Growing up, Mom was always busy since she worked as a nurse, but Dad worked from home and I loved spending time with him. Mom was the exact opposite. All she cared about was work. Sometimes I tried to get her interested in my life, but it never worked. Mom, I have a huge science test tomorrow. Can you help me? Honey, my back hurts. I just finished a 48-hour shift. Can you ask your dad, please? It was always the same. As I got older, I stopped trying and Dad became my everything. My parents have always been super proud of their Chinese culture, but I didn't care so much for it. For me, America was the only home I ever knew. Still, I was known as the nerdy girl of the school. Teachers adored me because I was a smart kid, but the kids, well, they disliked me because I loved tests and quizzes and would always remind my teachers in case they forgot. Other than academics, I was practically invisible in school. I never had a boyfriend, and the only person that thought I was cool was my best friend Ashley. We had been friends since our first day at school. Our sheer love of mathematics connected us like two pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. One time when I was in 6th grade, Dad gave me a traditional Chinese hairpin, and Ashley loved it. Whoa, such a big hairpin. It looks so awesome, so Chinese. Dad made me wear it as a symbol of good luck. Here, you try it on. Just as Ashley was checking out the pin, someone snatched it from her. It was Mason. He was the absolute worst. His mission on Earth was to annoy me every day. He was the school jock and the head of the cool squad. The guy had started school with Ashley and I, but he was our junior now because he flunked grade 3 twice.
Wow. Good for you for bringing China to school today. Ooh, this looks cool. How much would it make at a pawn shop? Couple of cents?
Give it back, Mason.
Hey, come on, Tony. I was just goofing. Here, it looks good on you. Don't give it to this wacko.
What did you call me? How dare you? It was always the same. Mason just loved messing with me and Ashley, and every time it turned into some argument. That was my life. I know, not quite happening. But things flipped when I turned 15, and one day, Dad announced that he was leaving Mom and going back to China. He wanted me to come with him, but the court didn't agree with Dad. After the divorce, Mom got custody of me, and I was devastated. I tried to get Mom to send me away by being naughty, but she wouldn't budge. One day, Mom was stuck at work and she asked me to order dinner. Instead, I invited Ashley and the entire math club for a pizza party. Are you sure your mom would be fine with this? Cut her some slack, Tony. No way. Come on, let's party. Just then, I heard a loud crash in the kitchen. Someone had broken my mother's favorite china set. Ooh, if that doesn't get her to send me to Dad, nothing else will. When Mom got back, she was pretty upset.
What is the meaning of this? Tony, how could you throw a party without asking me?
I wanted to, but you know, you're always busy. I didn't think you'd care.
Don't say that. I care about you. Everything I do is for you to have a good life. Your dad, he left us. You, for someone else.
What? You're lying. He'd never do that. Just then, Ashley interrupted and showed me her phone. It was some woman's Insta ID, and she had wedding pictures with my dad. Even Ashley knew? No, this all happened because of you. I hate you. I was so angry that I ran out of the house without even thinking. And right at that moment, something hit me and knocked the wind out of my lungs. Then, everything went black. When I woke up, I tried to open my eyes, but everything was pitch black. Who turned off the lights? Put it back on. I can't see anything.
Honey, the lights are on.
It turned out that the impact of the accident made me lose my eyesight. I was blind. Mom informed Dad, and he wanted to talk to me on the phone, but I refused. He could have visited me from China, but he didn't. After I was discharged from the hospital, Mom had a hard time taking care of me, so Ashley was practically living with us. I wanted to be angry at her for not telling me about Dad, but I couldn't. My family drama shouldn't affect our relationship. The craziest thing happened at school today. Mr. S was teaching a class, and boom, his wig fell off. OMG, that must have been epic. I was way happier to spend time with Ashley rather than with Mom. It was her fault that Dad left in the first place, I suppose. I mean, it must have been, because she was always so busy. I can get up by myself. I'm blind, not handicapped. And you must have work. You can go. I can handle it. But over time, I noticed how Mom was home more. It was like she was changing. She wanted to be constantly by my side, and even though I was always so snappy with her, she was patient. One time, I was listening to an old birthday video recording, and hearing Dad's voice made me cry. Right then, Mom came and hugged me. Oh, Mom, how could Dad forget me so soon?
It's his loss, honey. You have me. You'll always have me. I promise.
6 months passed by, and the doctor suggested surgery for my eyesight, which was not only risky, but also very expensive. Mom needed time to think, and that's when the doctor suggested it would be good if I started school again. I needed to get back out into the world, but I was so terrified. As I walked into school with my cane and Ashley by my side, I could feel my heart in my mouth. I was expecting to hear mean comments, but instead, I heard kids gasp.
Is it her?
OMG, she's back.
Yeah, she's here.
And then, all of a sudden, kids started clapping. I was baffled. What's going on? Are they making fun of me, Ashley? No, everyone is lined up in the hall, clapping for you. What? But why? Well, the day was full of surprises. Kids were super nice to me in class. During lunchtime, tons of kids sat at my table. Even Mason was there.
Hey, it's good to see you. School hasn't been the same without you.
Why? You didn't have anyone to pick on? Ashley was here. You could have bothered her.
Nah, not the same without you. Oh, I came up with a joke for you. You want to hear it? Of course you do. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us?
God help me, Mason. I will punch you. Oh yeah, Mason? Tell me this. What do you call a blind reindeer? No idea.
Now that's a good one.
I guess Mason wasn't such a jerk after all. While everyone was always being nice to me, Mason did something different. He made me feel normal, and I liked it. He'd still tease me, call me a nerd, but now he also cared for me. Every day, the moment I'd enter school, Mason would hold my hand and guide me to class while telling me how he'd rather be doing something else. But I laughed because I knew it was the first thing he looked forward to. And whenever he rubbed his thumb on the back of my hand, I somehow felt calm. With him, soon our duo became a trio. Mason went everywhere with us. Yeah, he was still annoying, but in a sweet way. It was refreshing. Ashley, on the other hand, thought he was up to something. Why is he always hanging out with us? Like, where are his guy friends? Are we not nerds anymore? Gosh, he's always looking at you. It's weird, isn't it? Do you think he likes you? And that's why he hangs out with us? Ugh, Ashley, it isn't weird, but now you made it weird. Yeah, fine. Mason was handsome, but him being friends with us didn't mean he liked me. He was just being nice, I think. A few days later, when I got home from school, Mom gave me the biggest news ever. My surgery was happening. She finally had the funds. I was super scared for the surgery, but Ashley and Mason were at the hospital when I woke up. I was so happy. It was so good to see their faces again. When I got back to school, I thought the attention from my classmates would end, but it didn't.
Hey, gorgeous.
Whoa, why was I feeling butterflies in my stomach seeing Mason?
One of my friends is having a party tonight. Wanna come?
Was Mason asking me out? Was a party a date? Sure, pick me up at 7. When Mason arrived to pick me up, he looked like $1,000,000, as he always did. Where's the ride? Are we gonna walk there?
Actually, I was thinking, what if, Tony, I need to ask you a huge favor. My exams are starting soon, and you know me. It's just that I don't want to fail. Could you
help you? Of course, yeah. Come on in. We studied together that night, and I realized Mason just had some attention problems. He would just get bored really fast. So over the next few weeks, I tried different ways to help him understand concepts, and he was able to. But on the day of his exam, he was still nervous. Hey, it's okay. You've worked really hard.
What if I still fail? Everyone thinks I'm stupid.
They must be jerks. You are awesome and kind and amazing. Mason, I think, never mind. Just as I turned, Mason grabbed my hand and pulled me in for a kiss. It was perfect.
Gosh, Tony, you are perfect. If only you could see yourself as I see you.
Saying that, Mason leaned in and kissed me. The entire night, I couldn't stop thinking about the kiss. Once his exams were over, Mason asked me to the prom. And of course, I said yes. But when Ashley found out, she totally freaked out. Now something is definitely up. There's no way he would just ask you. Why not, Ashley? Am I not pretty enough? Spit it out, Ashley. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's just weird. The way he's just oh so nice all of a sudden. And of course, you're pretty. I don't know what you mean, but I'm tired of this. Mason likes me. Deal with it. I hated how she said that, but I knew Ashley had a point. Was this just a game to Mason? That night, when he came to my window, I couldn't help but ask, Mason, why did you ask me to the prom and not one of the cheerleaders? Do you still pity me as the blind girl?
No, I really like you. I know we didn't start off on the right foot, but I always had a crush on you. I didn't know how to express it. I just sort of annoyed you instead. But that day, after the accident happened, seeing you lying there in your pink PJs and unable to do anything, I felt horrible. When I saw you in the hospital, I knew I had to show you how I felt about you. Tony,
Wait a minute. How did you know I was wearing pink PJs? Were you there when the accident happened? Mason looked shocked, and I knew why. OMG, it was you, wasn't it? I just realized you don't have a car anymore. What happened? Your dad took it from you after you hit a girl with it? After you hit me?
Tony, I wanted to tell you like a million times, but I couldn't. I didn't know if you'd ever talk to me again. It was an accident. You just came out of nowhere. It wasn't my fault, and yours neither. I am so sorry.
Not your fault? Get out. I don't ever want to see your face. Leave. I felt like a million emotions wash over me. Ashley was right. There was no way someone like Mason could like me. He was just hanging out with me because he felt guilty. I sent a message to Ashley. She came over right away, and after learning everything, she hugged me tight. Over the next few days, I kept replaying the whole accident scene every night in my head, and I realized Mason was right. It was me who came in front of the car. I am such an idiot. I needed to make things right. I tried calling him, but he never picked up. The next day when I went to school, I looked everywhere for Mason, but he was nowhere to be found. And when Mom came to pick me up, she gave me the most shocking news ever. Apparently, someone had come forward regarding my accident. It was Mason.
I am shocked. That boy was your friend. He looked like a saint. He helped us so much, and in the end, he turned out to be the one responsible. I don't know what to believe.
Helped us? What do you mean?
He didn't tell you. He helped raise money for your surgery. He set up a GoFundMe and ran ads all over the internet. Maybe he was doing it just to not feel guilty.
Mom, I gotta tell you something. I told Mom all about the accident, how it was me who ran in front of the car. She immediately called her cop friend, and Mason was released. I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. I'm sorry I treated you badly before and blaming you for what Dad did. I love you so deeply. Later that night, I waited for Mason to come to my window. When he didn't, Ashley and I went to his. I still don't like him, but fine. I'll accept him. For you. Bet you would. As I climbed his window with Ashley's help, I caught Mason watching MSA videos on his phone. So, why didn't you tell me you helped raise money for me?
'Cause it didn't matter. What mattered was how I felt for you, how you felt for me, how you feel for me. I'm sorry about...
Before he could finish, I rose up on my toes and kissed him. So, is the offer to go to prom with you still on?